This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at BackupBradley above at the top of the screen and everything that we're talking about here today. Okay, so we have got to talk about some very big news here, and we're going to talk about the XRP Ledger Foundation. We're going to talk about the DTCC, the Depository Trust Clearing Corporation, that does $2.15 quadrillion in settlement every single year. Come on in. First, let's get on to this news right here. Okay, Joni Gulbrasson, shout out to you and Steve. Ripple partner ACI Worldwide teams up with MasterCard to create new payment solutions globally. It just keeps getting bigger, and it's about to get bigger when we move through the next few pieces of this news. So let's go ahead and keep this moving. So BIS, guys, if you haven't seen the video I did this morning of the BIS and the G20 and all of the efforts that are moving towards a brand new digital financial infrastructure, my goodness, go watch that video. I just wanted to add to this here. The Joint Committee on Payments and Market Infrastructure and the World Bank reports help national authorities apply to the payment aspects of financial inclusion. They call it the PAFI, Guidance for Expanding Access into Payment Services. Don't forget, this is all related to the innovation hub that is happening with the BIS with all the other central banks they've included from Singapore and in Europe and in Switzerland and in the Federal Reserve out of New York. And it's all about bringing financial inclusion and getting the new payment infrastructure built and everyone on that network so they can participate in settlement. Let's keep this moving. I wanted to share this because this is just like really one of those bullish moments that just gets me so excited and keeps me jacked about this space. The tide has turned and regulations are in the wind of our XRP sales. Hashtag zero doubt. Hashtag XRP the standard. Hashtag Ripple XRP strong. Look, shout out to Cryptic Poet for this one here. I'm going to play this. This is powerful. Listen to Congressman Tom Emmer, who has been a huge advocate in this space for cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. Here we go.
Details begin to emerge and payment charters are granted, the OCC will continue to fulfill their mission. In addition, regulatory certainty is a goal that Acting Comptroller Brooks and I share. That's why last week I introduced the Securities Clarity Act, which would clarify securities law in a technologically agnostic way and allow for the distribution of an underlying asset that is in fact a commodity. With regard to blockchain technologies, the Securities Clarity Act would allow for the distribution of a token following a registered securities offering. So long as actors play by the rules of the road, they deserve the assurances that regulators will not continue to cause uncertainty and will in fact support innovation in America. I'm grateful for the support of Darren Soto, a co-chair of the Blockchain Caucus like myself, and Ro Khanna, a member of the caucus and California member, whose district has directly seen the benefits of these new technologies. It's through practical, nonpartisan solutions like this that this task force can be most effective during this and going into the next Congress. Again, I'd like to thank Chairman Lynch for convening this hearing and leading the task force, and I hope we will continue to work together to better understand financial technologies and the ways Congress can support and foster innovation in America. I yield back.
There it is. Shout out to Tom Emmer and everybody else, Warren Davidson and Darren Soto and everybody else who has been so bullish on it, and Caitlin Long, too, out of Wyoming, and everyone who's been championing the effort for blockchain and cryptocurrencies in this space. I do believe that the regulatory wins are in the XRP sales because we have been working within the system and not without, and that is where the long game is about to pay off very big for us, as well as the fact that Ripple has been building so much market infrastructure to connect all these different areas of industry and payments and settlement around the world. So let's go ahead and keep this going. You remember we just recently, last Friday, got the no action letter from the SEC that was really a all go ahead, clear green light. Red, yellow, green. It's go time, people. The SEC has told us that security tokens are a go. And you don't have to worry. We're not going to take any action on you. And by the way, you can now tokenize everything from startup companies to all the stocks that exist in the world, to all the real estate that exists in the world, to all the commodities that exist in the world. I mean, this is where we're going. This is what is happening. So very, very exciting news. And I don't think it can be overstated, to be perfectly honest with you. And in the meantime, I want to remind people that Ripple-powered WireX raises $1.5 million in under 2 hours for security offering. It's already beginning. This is very exciting. So then there's this news from DTC.com, News 2020 September on the 29th today. I want to read this to you because it's so powerful. The DTCC outlined step to achieve complete dematerialization of physical securities in the U.S. Did you hear what that was? The Depository Trust Clearing Corporation has outlined steps to achieve complete dematerialization of physical securities in the United States. DTCC is building consensus among stakeholders on the critical next steps to fully transition securities processing from physical certificates to electronic records. Come on in. New York, London, Hong Kong, Singapore, Sydney on September 29th. The Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, the premier post-trade market infrastructure for the globe financial services industry, today issued the latest white paper, From Physical to Digital, Advancing the Dematerialization of U.S. Securities, outlining the necessary steps to reduce, ultimately eliminate, certificated U.S. securities. You hearing this? Is this on? Get your feet off the coffee table. This is a big deal. And we're going to find out just how big of a deal in just a second here. Dematerialization, the transition from physical certificates to electronic records, would reduce the risk and cost associated with manual processing and human touch points, as well as increase efficiency and resiliency across the industry at a time when automation is more important than ever. Today, less than 1% of assets serviced by DTCC through firm subsidiary Depository Trust Company are still in physical form. But they represent $780 billion in value at 1%. The complete dematerialization of physical securities fully transitioning away from paper to electronic records will contribute to a more cost-effective, efficient, transparent, secure, competitive, and above all, resilient marketplace for all. Murray Pottsmanner, DTCC Managing Director, Head of Clearing Agency Services, the world of online, not only cashless, but contactless commerce has accelerated as forever reshaped every aspect of consumer behavior. Physical securities processing is no different, and it is well past the time we as an industry must move forward together toward a better solution that reduces risk to the marketplace. To date, many millions of physical certificates in the U.S., capital markets have been dematerialized, including exchange-traded equities and certain corporate U.S. government debt. However, in many cases, it is still possible for stockholders to obtain physical certificates, which results in multiple manual touch points between beneficial owners, financial intermediaries, and transfer agents, among others. In the latest white paper, the DTCC proposes the next steps to drive toward complete dematerialization, much in the way that the industry worked together cooperatively to successfully implement a T+2 settlement date in the United States. The dematerialization effort will require industry working groups to come together to set priorities, address concerns, build consensus, and to collaborate to set aggressive but realistic goals and timelines. The success of this effort will require support from our clients and stakeholders, including industry organizations and our regulators. It will also require a full-scale committed adoption of new business practices and technology platforms, as well as shifts in the legal landscape. said Ann Bergen, DTC Managing Director, General Manager, Wealth Management Services and Asset Services. The benefit of achieving complete dematerialization, reducing the ultimately eliminating paper, will lead to a significantly more efficient and resilient U.S. marketplace. And with concerted effort and collaboration across the industry, including but not limited to banks, brokers, and dealers, transfer agents, issuers, regulators, industry associations, and exchanges, DTCC believes that the industry can achieve full dematerialization of 98% of all U.S. physical certificates in the next 3 years. Over 45 years of experience, DTC is a premier post-trade market infrastructure for a global financial services industry, from operating facilities, data centers, and offices in 15 countries. DTCC, through its subsidiaries, automates, centralizes, standardizes the processing of financial transactions, mitigating risk, increasing transparency, and driving efficiency for thousands of broker-dealers, custodian banks, and asset managers, industry owned and governed. The firm simplifies the complexities of clearing, settlement, asset servicing, data management, data reporting, and information services across asset classes, bringing increased security and soundness, listen to this, to financial markets. In 2019, DTCC's subsidiaries processed securities transactions valued at more than U.S. dollars 2.15 quadrillion. $2.15 quadrillion. Huh. Are you kidding me? That's how many securities were processed through DTCC in 2019. $2.15 quadrillion. Let me finish reading. Its depository provides custody and asset services for security issues, 170 countries and territories, valued at $63 trillion. DTC's global trade repository service, through locally registered, licensed, or approved trade repositories, processed over 14 billion messages annually. Come on in. It doesn't say Ripple. It doesn't say blockchain. It doesn't say DLT, but we know about the Jasper project and the other project they were working on, which is all blockchain. DLT has been going on for years. I think it was Whitney, or there was two names they had to it. But the truth is they've been working with DLT and blockchain, and those are the projects that I believe this article is referencing that they will be switching over to. And the interesting thing for me in that is that, when you think of the size of this market, you start going back to things like the WEF, the World Economic Forum, about how they picked XRP to be a settlement token between central banks and intra-bank payments and settlement. Do you think that doesn't mean that we're not going to be handling back-end settling securities? I believe this is exactly what it means, and I believe that's exactly why Ripple refers to what they do as all the money, and why you see this diagram look very similar to one that Ripple has put out, or Chris Larson, years ago. To me, this is exactly where we're going, and it's remarkable. And I don't mind telling you, keynote speaker Sheila Warren, who wrote the CBDC policymaker toolkit for the World Economic Forum for all the central banks to take back to their respective countries and build a digital currency for their central bank, is going to be a keynote speaker at Swell. Here's the other thing that's amazing. We just heard that the XRP Ledger Foundation is going to launch a nonprofit independent organization foundation behind it, or for it, so it can now begin to function on its own that way and have a foundation in regards to addressing all the needs of the XRP Ledger Foundation, taking that stress off of Ripple. And no, Ripple is not abandoning anything. Ripple is going on to continue to be a blockchain infrastructure company that eventually wants to IPO at some point. And they're not there at this point. This is the perfect time for them to decouple from being the steward of the XRP ledger and being able to move beyond that task, have the independent nonprofit foundation become the steward of that XRP ledger, and allow all the participants to build on that and give them all the help they can and aid and assist in the projects and things they need to do to continue to build out the ecosystem for the new financial world. This, to me, is remarkable. I think we're moving in a great direction, and I don't know about you. I don't watch price too often, so the fundamentals that I'm seeing, specifically in the regulatory areas here, are extremely, extremely exciting. What I will tell you is I'm going to give you this right here. Call it my own call to action. There is stuff happening all the time. If you're an accredited investor, download this app. If you're not, download this app. Why do I know that? Because the reality is you can still get access even if you're not accredited. You can't buy the products that they have, and they just got some new products. Upgrade is on there. SoFi sold out, and it's not available right now. Link2's on there themselves. Uphold is there. Upgrade. Ripple is still up there. Blockchain Co-Investors is there. And Kraken, who just got a banking license. Are you kidding me? I don't know if I could be any more bullish right now, but even if you're not an accredited investor and can't buy these products, download this app because it's going to include you into a lot of other things that Link2 are doing as far as conferences and get-togethers where they have people like Greg Kidd and Tim Draper and other people like that come and participate, and they tell you exactly what they're working on and what they're doing in this space. And who doesn't want to know that? All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Hit the like and subscribe. It is amazing news. $2.15 quadrillion with the DTCC, and they are intending to make sure it is all electronic and digital. Paper is now out the window. That's going to do it for me. Hit the like and subscribe. Share with somebody you know. I'll catch all of you on the next one.